Good morning, students. Let us continue our chapter Separation of Substances, Part 3. Yesterday, in the previous class, we have learned about methods of separation. So, there are different methods of separation, that is hand picking. It means we can pick up the stone and the husk from pulses, rice, and etc. Then we have learned about threshing. It means the removal of grain from the stalk, or how we can separate grain from the stalk. Winnowing means separation of lighter and heavier particles. It means the seeds of grain are separated from the husk. Husk being lighter, blow away with the wind, and the seeds or the grains fall down. Then we have learned about sieving. It means stone from flour or pebbles from sand can be separated with the help of a siever or a strainer used for the separation, and this is called sieving. Let's see what about liquids. It means if solid and liquid are mixed together, so how we can separate that kind of substances. So here it is, when pulses are kept in a bowl of water. You have noticed this example I gave. When mother tried to wash the rice before cooking, we have noticed that we wash also. So means when pulses are kept in a bowl of water, pulses being heavier, so they settle down, and the lighter impurities, means the dirt and the impurities, comes up onto the surface. And then what we are doing, we try to tilt that container, and the water drains out, and in this way we are able to wash the pulses or rice. It means we can remove the dirt or insects or any tiny pieces of straw. These can be separated. So actually now if you see what happened there, it means we notice that dal or chawal, these settled at the bottom and the lighter impurities comes up. So this settling down of heavier particles when mixed with water is called sedimentation. See the picture? The pulses are mixed with water, and then the heavier, being the particles which are heavy, they are insoluble. The pulses are insoluble in water. So they settle at the bottom and the dirty water is above there. And then we can decantate. Decantate means it can be decanted by pouring or tilting the container, and can be collected in the different one. Here the common example is given with the sand. Means when we take a glass of water and put 2-3 spoons of sand in it, we see that the sand being heavier settle at the bottom, and the water which contains these impurities is up. Means the lighter impurities are floating onto that water. Now what we are going to do? We want to discard that impurities. So what we are doing? We decant, means we tilt the container. See the second picture, the beaker is tilted in such a manner that the dirty water is separated out and the sand settles at the bottom. So this is called decantation. So sedimentation and decantation, these are the two methods. But still we can say that dirty water, nobody is going to drink it. Will you drink? No, na. So what we can do with it? So this we will learn. Let's see again one more example of sedimentation. That is the process of separating insoluble solids suspended in a liquid. Settle at the bottom is called sedimentation. Clear? So here the solid particles that settle down. See in the picture, I explained you about sand or the dal or chawal. So these all things settle at the bottom. So these are called as sediments. and the liquid above, that the dirty liquid which is above, is actually called as supernatant. See the picture. First here it is telling that the heavier particles which are insoluble, that is settled, and it is called sediment, and the water which contains the impurities, it is called as supernatant. Now in the another picture, she is doing decantation method. It means the beaker is decanted, is tilted in such a manner that the water is collected in the different container or different beaker. So using a mixture of sand and water, the method called sedimentation and decantation is used. The process of pouring out the clear upper liquid without disturbing the sediments is called sedimentation. So a mixture of sand and water can be separated by sedimentation and decantation. Here I was telling you about that dirty water nobody is going to drink. So see, the third picture is telling us about filtration. So here filter paper is used to make up a funnel, means the filter, and then that dirty water, that impure water is filtered. So we get a clean water here, and this is called filtration. The process by which two substances, that is one is insoluble solid and a liquid, are separated by passing the mixture through a filtering device. Means with the help of a device only, with the help of any filter, we can separate these things. Here one more example we can take. When we prepare tea, so that time it is filtered with the sieve, that is strainer, and then tea leaves collected onto the top and filtered. Supernatant, we can say that liquid is supernatant and is used as a tea. So here common example is, after preparing tea, we filter out the tea leaves using a strainer. It is also done to remove pulp from fresh juice. If we prepare a juice and sometimes the children do not like that fibers, or even sometimes the seeds also come along with that orange juice and mosambi juice. So that time also we can take a siever or a strainer, and then we can separate that pulp. We remove that pulp from the fresh juice. So filter paper, muslin cloth, mostly at home, mother use muslin cloth also to filter, and the strainer. So these are the devices used for filtration. Let's see what we have learned today. That we have learned about the different methods of separation of solid mixed with liquid, that is sedimentation, decantation, filtration. So sedimentation is heavier particles settle down at the bottom, and in decantation, pouring clear liquid into another container, and in filtration we can say filter it, make it more clear, that is an insoluble solid and a liquid. Example, tea or juice, fruit juice. Thank you, students. Have a nice day. We will continue the chapter tomorrow.